For all your TCG needs, make sure to check out alphatradingcardgames.com. What's poppin', everybody? This is Sabro94. Quite late making this TCG meta video. Normally I do this sort of video around 2 weeks before the next set drops. I guess we're doing this around a week before Lost Origin drops. But I mean, Astral Radiance, our previous set, I thought Darkrai was going to be all the hotness, and unfortunately I couldn't get the cards myself to use it and I guess showcase to people how you're supposed to use it, at least how I think you're supposed to use it. In the end, Arceus VSTAR, I mean, it won the World Championship, and I guess Palkia was considered the second best deck, or neck and neck, I guess, before Arceus won. I mean, I knew Palkia V-Star. When I reviewed it, I thought it was a great card from Astral Radiance, but I didn't think it was going to be ahead of Darkrai, Darkrai Turbo decks. But I guess that's what happened. In the end, Arceus won. That card is definitely the more well-rounded card out of all of them. I mean, once again, I thought maybe Darkrai was going to give competition to Arceus. I mean, even with the V-Star power, I made the comparison. Arceus is like the double computer search. Darkrai is like the double dowsing machine / junk arm. And you got a turbo deck. And in my eyes, it just had everything it needed to be powerful and successful. And it even countered, it was an easy win against like the Fusion Strike Mew deck, which dropped a little bit. Now, with Lost Origin, I mean, I guess Hisuian Zoroark V-Star is the other turbo deck that would stand out, but if people didn't really favor or think Darkrai was that good, I don't know if this Hisuian Zoroark V-Star is gonna make that much difference. I mean, it's very similar to Darkrai. Darkrai wants a lot of darkness energies to do high damage for cheap. Zoroark wants a bunch of the Gengars with self-damage on, so it can do a lot of damage for cheap. Just two colorless, one energy attachment can do really high damage, but I think people, I don't know, just don't favor these types of decks. It's gonna be probably about whatever big Pokemon you can pair up and combine it with Arceus V-Star to power up through its attack. And you got a deck basically. I mean, the face of Lost Origin, I guess here, is Giratina, which is a dragon type Pokemon, and it's bringing the Lost Zone aspect back. Normally this would be once again a chance for Darkness, Darkrai to pick up and I guess hit this guy for weakness. Giratina usually is weak to darkness, but in this case, being a dragon type Pokemon, it's not weak to darkness. So I don't know if Darkrai is ever going to pick up and be like super top tier. Other Pokemon that stand out here when it comes to the V-Stars, Hisuian, Gudra, tank Pokemon. I kind of dig that. Then you got Magnezone, which is going to do damage and let you grab cards, similar to other cards we've seen in the past. Like, what was it? Like the Delphox, Charizard, Tag Team GX. I think that's what it was. So that kind of stands out a little bit. When it comes to trainer cards, this set, I'm not too impressed with it. Maybe I'm not remembering everything, but when it comes to all the new supporter cards and just a lot of the items, I'm not too thrilled. A lot of the items and trainers here are going to be like Lost Zone specific. So it's all about the Lost Zone, this set. And a lot of the generic supporter cards are kind of on the average side, at least to me. You got certain Pokemon that are probably going to be really impactful, like the Barbaracle. As long as this Pokemon is around, your opponent's Pokemon, the prizes your opponent gets go into the Lost Zone, which is just an effect waiting to be exploited. I mean, it doesn't matter whether they go in the Lost Zone or even if they win in the discard pile. It's just a very broken effect that's very reminiscent of a Duel Masters card that probably nobody knows, like a big Duel Masters monster from back in the day, because it's really huge. You only realize how important this sort of effect is when you start grabbing prizes and we're so used to, you grab a prize, you get a card, you get the card in your hand, so it's like a card advantage. So when you lose that, all of a sudden, it does make a pretty big impact. I don't think people probably really understand this unless it happens to them. Once they play against this card, then they're going to realize, man, this is a broken effect. So, making the comparison once again to that old Duel Masters card, I know that this effect is really, really strong. Now, other regular Pokemon, as usual, leave a lot to be desired. There's like a freaking Beautifly that brings back the draw to have 6 effect, but that's not that great. I mean, not really much of an improvement over the barrel. Drawn to have 5, but it's only a stage 1. Machamp, I guess, from the stage 2s maybe stands out a little bit, and Trevenant, I guess. But the thing is with Trevenant, once V Pokemon won't be much of a thing, then his ability isn't going to be that great either. I mean, we already know EX Pokemon are going to come out in 2023. They're basically going to be coming out after Silver Tempest. After Silver Tempest, it's going to be the first Scarlet and Violet set, I would say. I would guess. And it's going to have EX Pokemon. I don't think they're going to carry over Vs in that era. But, I mean, I could be proven completely wrong. So when you take that into consideration, a lot of these cards that are like V specific counter cards, they're already outdated. You know, they won't be that great or relevant for long. Which is why I don't like when they give those types of cards, you know, specific rule box effect. Like it should be for all rule box Pokemon so that they're relevant for much longer. But when they're specific to doing extra damage on VMAXs or Vs or whatever, and only those types of rule box Pokemon, then they only get power creeped that much quicker. When it comes to what the best, I guess, Lost Zone archetype is going to be from this set, there's a bunch of ways that you can build Lost Zone decks and utilize the Lost Zone cards, but the way I see it, it's just two main strategies. You've got the big Giratina VSTAR that does straight 280, so getting one-hit KOs on VSTARs including Arceus and Palkia. So you find a way to utilize that card, maybe with Arceus himself, get one-hit knockouts, meet the energy condition. I think some of these supporters and trainer cards are gonna meet you when it comes to energies, but it's basically that sort of thing. Get one-hit knockouts. And then you got the, I guess, the Mad Party style of Lost Zone deck, which I think it's Rotom and Porygon 2. They do something like that, where it's the number of Lost Zone cards or Lost Zone Pokemon in the Lost Zone, and then you do high damage that way. I mean, that's basically it. I don't think I'm missing anything out. Or I think Tools in the Lost Zone is what Rotom does, something like that. You get some random ass alternate art reprints here, like Eternatus V and Eternatus VMAX. Not that they're not that great anymore, just too risky. And Crobat V, I guess, as a reprint. And I guess collectability wise, this set might be hot because it has some of the, I guess, trainer galleries, what they call them. I just call them alternate art cards because we don't need all these complicated ass rarities and shit, but basically, you know, certain Pokemon with certain trainers, like you got the Pikachu VMAX with the red. These cards are considered, I guess, collectively hot, so people are going to want to get them. There was speculation if they were going to come out from Japan or not, from their set, and I guess unsurprisingly they did. Otherwise, the Japanese equivalent sets were going to be more expensive. But now that they're coming to us, I guess they're going to be hot. Maybe they'll be expensive. Collectability wise, maybe you want to get some of these cards. But competitive wise, I mean, it's just the V-Star decks that I've mentioned that stand out. You know, Giratina, you got Gudra as the tank deck, and you got Zoroark as the turbo deck, and maybe you've got some other more miscellaneous strategies, I guess. Magnuson as the control deck, you could say, grabbing cards. I always mention this, but I gotta do it again regarding Pokemon TCG Live. There's been no word of it yet. Once again, I don't know if it's gonna drop with this set. I don't know if it's a long way still to come. I haven't been impressed from what I've seen from it. You know, videos and shit. Maybe it has improved, but even if you go like to the website where it just says coming soon, you know, the scans, the images from that game, it just looks like a lesser version of Pokemon TCG Online, aesthetically anyway. Feature-wise, I don't know. So I don't care about it, but it's going to come eventually, as I always say. So that's another thing to think about. Every time a new set comes, are they going to drop it with the new set? They would normally want to do something like that, when the next set drops, the new game drops too. They wouldn't like release it at a random date, but I suppose you don't know. And that's all I really got with this set, Lost Origin. I mean, Lost Zone is coming back. Once again, it's probably going to be all about what the next big Pokemon Arceus V-Star can pair up with well, because it's just the most consistent Pokemon Arceus. I don't want to keep talking about it, but it just looks like it's how I predicted and what I've said. For as long as it's going to be around, it's going to be relevant in some way or another. And it's going to be all about what Pokemon can you really exploit with it next. Power it up with its energy acceleration attack. And of course, you always have the two free cards you can grab from your deck. So maybe it's going to be Giratina. Maybe it's going to be a different Pokemon from here. I don't know. Hisuian Gudra perhaps. Perhaps something else that I'm missing. Who knows? As you guys know, I've been heavily involved with Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel quite a lot recently, so I'm not super up to speed with everything going on with the Pokemon TCG. I try to keep up and I still play. Hopefully I'll have some videos for you guys with the new cards as always, but it's just a very difficult thing. But as I said, Lost Origin is definitely exciting. I mean, any set that's going to bring out a Giratina card, a Giratina special card too, Giratina V-Star, should be quite exciting. I mean, just when it comes to like the artwork alone and collectability wise, I think this Giratina card is going to be quite expensive. The Japanese one has proven to be very expensive. My friend from Alpha Training Card Games calls it like the Picasso art, full art for Giratina V, because there's just so much shit going on it. So at the end of the day, I mean, competitive wise, of course, this set is going to have a lot of shit, but collectability wise, it might end up being hotter in that regard. Maybe it's going to be hotter from Astral Radiance in that sense and Brilliant Stars. And maybe it's going to be along the lines of Evolving Skies. People are just going to want to collect all the cards, all the alternate arts and full arts. Hot set in that sense too. So that's all I got for today. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. What a